What is up, U.S. history students? Today, I want to talk about what is expected of you for week 2 under distance learning. And I want to start off by looking at the weekly plan. So last week, you guys had 2 very difficult assignments of checking into Google Classroom and then logging into Cyber High. Most of you completed those bad boys, so thank you guys. I appreciate that. Those were 10 points each, so very good. If you check the Aries gradebook, those scores should be in there now. Now this week, you are going to be doing a little bit more work with Cyber High, okay? So Unit 7 of Cyber High is going to be due this week on Friday, and I'll go over what that looks like, and then you also have attendance due, and again, we'll go over that more. But before we do, I want to start with a question, okay? And that is, what does Make America Great Again mean? Now, you guys know that this is Donald Trump's campaign slogan. He borrowed it from Ronald Reagan, who used it in the 80s to get elected as president. But what does this mean? What do they mean when they say make it great again? When was America great? What is this time period that they're talking about with bringing America back to that stage, okay? You're going to discover that that is what Unit 7 really is, okay? This 1950s period in U.S. history is kind of like a mythical period where people look back at it and say, America just won World War II for the whole world. We were victorious. Our economy is booming. And so they look back at this 1950s period as kind of like a mythical when America was top dog in the world and we were the best country ever, okay? So you get to look at that under Unit 7, which is a super interesting time period in American history. You also get to learn about the fair deal. Again, vets are coming back from World War II and they need jobs, right? And they need places to live, they need things to do. And so we have Truman passing what is called a fair deal, and that includes the GI Bill, which gives these new vets coming back, it gives them loans to start businesses, to buy houses. It gives them free college so that they can go to college and become educated professionals. So again, we see America expanding out and getting richer and richer. Now, while this period does have economic prosperity, it has GIs moving out into the suburbs and living in kind of tight family units. It's not all happy, okay? We also have what is called the atomic age, where Americans are very fearful about the Russians, the USSR, who has nuclear weapons a few years after we developed them, and we get bomb shelters in almost every backyard house in America, which is pretty interesting. We also get all these GIs moving out into these new places called the suburbs, okay? So these are kind of cookie cutter houses, and each family is expected to have a husband and a wife and 2 kids. It's called the nuclear family, and we kind of see America become like a prosperous, conservative country at this time. We also see, with these new GIs having all this new money and all this economic prosperity, they are going to start having kids. And that is what we call the baby boom. So if you look here, you can see the birth rate is going to decline during our interwar years and depression and things like that. But it's going to explode after these vets come back and they get married and they start having kids. And that is our baby boom. Okay, so that's all Unit 7. Very interesting stuff. Now, these baby boomers, they're going to be coming of age. They're teenagers in the 50s, and they are going to start rebelling, okay? They're going to grow their hair out. This is considered long hair back then, so that guy is rebelling. They're going to start smoking and riding motorcycles and listening to this crazy dude Elvis. So you get to see some rebellious teenagers in the 50s as well. Now, how is this stuff graded, okay? You guys are going to be only doing the readings and the quizzes for these units. So you can see here, I did a little example here. You're only doing the readings, skip that activity. Don't do any of the activities, okay? Just do the readings, skip the activity, readings, skip the activity, and then do the quiz at the end. This is what your dashboard should look like for each of these sections, okay? So do all 4 sections, but skip all these activities. This is out of 50 points, and the way I'm going to do that is, do you have all the readings and quizzes done? And what is your score on the quiz? And then I'll take those 2 numbers and then make your score out of 50. That's how it's graded. Another thing, do not do that final exam here. Next week I'll give you projects to do, so do not take that thing. That is not required of you. I guess you can if you want to, but you certainly don't need to. Another thing that is new, we have attendance now, okay? So once a week, preferably on Fridays, I want you guys to cruise over here to the Topics tab. You are going to click Attendance. Once you're there, you're going to click this Google form, and that's going to take you to this form right here, okay? So you just go over here, you choose your period, you type out your name, and then you just say how you participated in class. So maybe you did some Cyber High, hopefully. Maybe you Zoomed with me or another student. You obviously are in Google Classroom. Maybe you emailed me, whatever, okay? So just check whatever you did for this week, okay? And a few things to close on. I want you guys to stay in touch, okay? So please, if you have any questions on this Cyber High stuff, email me. I've gotten plenty of emails from you guys. I'm happy to hear from you. I miss teaching you, so do not hesitate to email me about anything. We are also doing a class Zoom meeting. So all of my US history class, I'm going to invite to a Zoom meeting on Tuesday at noon, and I'll be there for 15 minutes. This is not mandatory at all, okay? My plan is people can just kind of stop by and ask questions as they want. So you can just stop by and say, hey, Poff, what am I supposed to do for this? And then log off. That's totally fine. But I'll be available on Zoom, and you'll get an email with that link from noon to 12:15, okay? Another thing is, I want you guys to keep up with your readings in Cyber High. Don't wait until Friday to do all of that reading. That will be insane. I would say do maybe like a section a day, or maybe 2 sections over 2 days, but don't wait until the very end, because that is way too much work to do in one day. And another thing, you guys should be using your Zoom accounts, in my opinion. You guys should be using those Zoom accounts to do your work with your friends, okay? So you should all log into Cyber High together. You guys know I like group work, and so you should all be Zooming together on your phones and talking about the content and kind of having a good time with it, okay? Because this work can be tedious and be kind of boring and kind of lonely, so it's important to get that social aspect in with this work. So I highly recommend you do that. My AP students are doing it, and they enjoy it quite a bit. So again, do that. All right, so this week, turn in those Cyber High Unit 7, finish that up. If you have any questions, email. I hope you guys are staying safe, and I will see you in the next video.